Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Board of Appeals hearing. Before we begin, let me introduce some members of town government that act as advisors to this board. To my left is Paul Hennings, counsel to the board. To his left is David Flynn, assistant planning director. To his left is Blaise Donato, a planner in the planning department. Now let me tell you why you're here tonight. New York State statute requires that any town that adopts zoning must also have a Board of Appeals to act as a relief valve so those persons agreed by strict application of the zoning ordinance can seek relief without the expense of going to court. Town board can give Board of Appeals additional powers, such as special exception approvals, site plan approvals, etc. In Smithtown, the town board has given this board authority regarding certificate of existing use and some special exception uses. The most common kind of applications before the board are area variances. Area variances deal with dimensions such as lot area, frontage, height, setbacks, and parking spaces. New York State statute mandates that the board must consider the following criteria in area variances. When you come to the podium to present your application, you need to address these 5 areas. They're posted here for you. Number 1. Whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created. Number 2, whether the applicant has other feasible alternatives. Number 3, whether the variance is substantial. Number 4, whether an adverse impact on the environment will be created. And number 5, whether the alleged difficulty is self-created. The statute requires the board to balance the interest of the applicant and those of the neighborhood or community. The statute further requires that the board shall grant the minimum variance deemed necessary and adequate, and at the same time preserve and protect the character of the neighborhood and the health, safety, and welfare of the community. The board has the power to impose reasonable conditions for granting variances. Special exception applications are different than area variance. When we have a special exception application before us, I will explain the different criteria. Regarding procedure, cases will be called in order that they are advertised. When your case is called, please come forward, submit your affidavits and mailing receipts to Mr. Donato, and then you will be sworn in at the podium and given the opportunity to explain to the board why you need the variance. After the applicant is done speaking, all interested parties will be given one opportunity and only one opportunity to be heard. So please, organize your thoughts, keep your remarks factual that are related to the case. Then I will ask the applicant to come back to the podium to answer your concerns. The board will then close the cases and do reserve decision. After all the hearings are closed, the board will review the cases and decide some of them. Others will be reviewed at a later date. There are 3 ways to find out the results of the case. Number 1, you can wait until after the public hearing, but there's no guarantee that the board will act on your case tonight. Number 2, you can call the planning department tomorrow afternoon. And number 3, applicants can wait and be notified by mail. Okay. There's one adjournment, case 16903, V. Cavaza, Inc. Is anyone on that, here for that? It's on the location north side of North Avenue and Halleck Avenue. Anyone here for that? We are adjourning that case. They're probably going to ask for adjournment for a couple of months. All right? So I would say August 13th. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first case on the agenda, number 16917, Jerry Martusciello, 22 Mildred Court, Wisconsin. Location, east side of Mildred Court, 75 feet north of Carr Court. The property is zoned R10. The applicant is requesting a special exception to permit temporary living quarters for a parent to increase the maximum gross floor area from 25% to 32% for a proposed 1,253 square foot second floor addition.
Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special exception. It is a permitted use if they meet
Yeah.
all the requirements. If they do not meet all the requirements, then they are asking for variances. All right? May I have the applicant? Your name, please,
Jerry Martuscello,
and your address, Jerry.
22 Mildred Court, Wisconsin, New York.
Okay. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Good. Would you like this gentleman to speak for you?
I would, please.
Thank you. I need your name, and I'm going to ask you to spell your name.
Okay, Pong, P-O-N-G, last name Mui, M-U-I,
Okay. And your address?
222 Middle Country Road, Suite 226, Smithtown, New York,
Okay.
11787.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay.
We're going for a FAR variance here. On paper, it says 32.4%. Most of that FAR that we're asking for is actually in the attic. If you actually do the math and take the attic out of the area variance, it actually only comes out to about 25.9%. One of the reasons why we need such a big attic is the existing house is a slab on grade. There's actually no basement for any kind of storage, so all our mechanical and everything is going to go in the attic. I don't believe that this is going to be any kind of undesirable change to the character of the neighborhood. In fact, the house is going to look nice because we have, I do believe, it's an 8-on-10 pitch on the roof, hence why we have such a high attic with the area variance. I don't really believe there's any other thing that we can do to achieve this, to lower that, because if we lower the pitch, then it doesn't look as nice. The 8-on-12 really gives it a nice look to it. I don't believe the area variance is substantial because, in fact, if you take out the attic, it's really only 25.9%. Actually, if you want to double check the math, everything on the first page of the drawings, the attic for the second floor and the attic on the 2.5 floors is on there. So if you subtract that out, that's how you get that number, 25.9%. I don't believe there's any kind of adverse effect on the environment. It's an existing footprint of the house. We're just merely going up. We're not extending the first floor at all. And it was not self-created because it's not done yet. The mother and daughter, I do believe we meet all the criteria. The apartment is only 485 square foot apartment. And if we ever don't need the apartment anymore, we just there's an existing 2-car garage, we'll just convert it back to a roughly 2.5-car garage.
Planning?
Madam Chair, the Planning Department prepared an advisory report. We recommended that the variance be granted to only 28%. If we were aware that there was only a slab, we would have recommended a greater percentage.
Would you recommend, I'm sorry.
A greater percentage, more leniency. I think most houses in the town have cellars, and if you don't have a cellar, you need more space to store your belongings. I think we're becoming a nation with a lot of possessions and no place to put them.
Okay. Gentlemen? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Is there anyone here that would like to be heard on this application? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved. Second.
Regularly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Madam Chair, the next case on the agenda, number 16918, Christopher Brennan, 28 Country Lane Drive, Kings Park. Location, south side of Country Lane Drive. 99 feet north of Avenue B in Kings Park. The property is zoned R10. The applicant requests a variance to reduce the minimum rear yard setback from 50 feet to 39 feet. There is 45 feet existing for a proposed 132 square foot first floor addition and proposed 238 square foot second floor addition.
May I have your name, please?
My name is Christopher Brennan,
Use the mic as much as you can, please. Thank you. And your address, Christopher.
28 Country Lane Drive, Kings Park, New York, 11754.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Want to tell us why you're here, please?
I'm here for rear setback variance. The property on 28 Country Lane Drive, the rear setback comes back at a steep angle. The house was built with a variance of 45 feet. We are looking to basically square off the rear of the house for an extension of the kitchen and a second full bathroom upstairs. I don't think it really changes the character of the neighborhood. Even we're only talking about 4 feet. So it's not really, it's not any impact on the environment. It already has a slab for the proposed area in which we're proposing to bump the house out. I don't think it's that substantial, even though the square footage seems large. Most of the second floor square footage is actually the current roof of the rear of the garage. And it wasn't self-created, nothing's been done yet. That's about it.
Okay, thank you. Planning? Gentlemen? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here that would like to be heard on this application? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Is regularly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Madam Chair, the next item on the agenda, number 16919, Ford of Smithtown, 440 East Jericho Turnpike, St. James, location south side of Middle Country Road, 791 feet west of Southern Boulevard. The property is zoned WSI. The applicant is requesting a variance to reduce the minimum landscape area in the front yard from 8% to 2%.
Okay. Your name, please,
Stephen Gomes,
and your address?
440 East Jericho Turnpike, St. James, New York, 11780.
Are you the owner?
I am.
Okay, good. All right, you want to tell us why you're here? Oh, raise your right hand first. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
We're here to improve the front portion of the property for vehicle display and additional customer parking as we're outgrowing the piece we're on right now. So I don't think that we're trying to match what's existing right now, keeping the frontage of the road consistent with what we currently have and expanding along, as all the rest of the dealers have, like competition next door, Subaru, they have about 10-foot frontage. The old Mazda or Lincoln dealership has about 25-foot frontage. Nissan has about the same 20 or 15-foot frontage. So we're just looking to keep it consistent with what currently exists on the site next door.
Planning?
Madam Chair, the application sounds like it's substantial. However, the circumstances here are unique. The property is very deep, and if they had to comply with the ordinance, their landscaped area would probably be over 100 feet deep. The plans indicate that the amount of landscaping will be ever slightly more than the existing Ford dealer and would be typical of the amount of landscaping that's on Middle Country Road right now.
Thank you. Gentlemen? Okay, thank you so much. Is there anyone here that would like to be heard on that application? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Regularly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Madam Chair, the next application, number 16920, Daniel Camporiali, 14 Dedham Street, Smithtown, location south side of Dedham Street, 200 feet west of St. Nicholas Avenue. The property is zoned R10S. The applicant is requesting a variance to reduce the minimum rear yard setback from 35 feet to 21 feet existing, reduce the minimum side yard setback from 12 feet to 10 feet, and total side yard setbacks from 28 feet to 24 feet for an existing 84 square foot deck.
May I have your name, please?
Daniel Camporial,
And your address, Daniel?
14 Dehan Street, Smithtown, New York, 11787.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm here tonight to apply for a side and rear setback variance for an existing 84 square foot of deck. I don't think it's going to change the neighborhood because it's in my backyard, and between fencing and bushes, you really can't see it from any neighbors or from the street. There's really no other way I can take care of this because of where my side door is. And basically, because of where the side door is, I didn't put it there, so I really have to work with what I got. And it's a deck, so I really don't think there's environmental impact.
Planning?
Thank you.
Gentlemen?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you.
Is there anyone here that would like to be heard on this application? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved. Second.
Really moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Chair, the next case, number 16921, Chris and Lauren Robinson, 18 Hilden Street, Kings Park, location south side of Hilden Street, 128 feet east of Core Road. The property is zoned R10. The applicant is requesting a variance to reduce the minimum total side yard setback from 28 feet to 20 feet for an existing 72 square foot first floor addition.
May I have your name, please,
Chris Robinson,
and your address?
18 Hilden Street, Kings Park, New York, 11754.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Bought this house 2 years ago, and this bathroom was existing. It's I don't think it's a substantial request. We're trying to. It's lessening the yard by 8 feet. It's set right behind existing patio. I don't think it's a environmental problem, and it wasn't created by me. It was the previous owner.
When you went to closing, there was no, they didn't
We
pick it up?
No, we closed. The title company missed it, the lawyer. The previous owner, he didn't mention it, even though he set all this up 2007 to, I guess, go through this process, and no flags went up. And then I got letters from the building department, so I'm just trying to fix the situation.
And the garage was there when you bought it, too?
The garage was there, yes.
Planning? Okay. Anyone else? Okay, thank you so much. Is there anyone here that would like to be heard on this application? Come up, please. May I have your name and will you spell your last name?
My last name is Marilyn Fulton, Fulton. I live at 14 Hilden Street, Kings Park.
All right, raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. This variance that's being requested, I had gone to the building department when the previous owner, Mr. Brown, was in the process of making this renovation and addition. And I went twice. They said they were checking into it. Because of family health situations, I wasn't able to press the situation. I was working full-time, taking care of my mother, hospitalized, and she's now living with me. Because this extension or whatever this situation was that was built also involved moving the driveway from the east side of the house to the west side of the house, which is my backyard in essence, even though it's the side yard. And now it's constant up and down, and this room that's there, my concern is because of the business that happens and goes back and forth there. I'm basically don't have any privacy, and I'm just concerned that if there's more building done on that property, it's going to be a problem for the neighborhood.
Well, he's not asking for anything else except what is there now.
Well, it is a concern for me because of the way my house is situated. As I say, what's considered my backyard by the town is really the side yard, which is adjacent to his property.
You know,
You're asking for us to make him take it all down.
I would like some concession made. I don't know why the building department let it go on for so long when I did bring it to their attention back in 2007.
okay.
And I did make 2 attempts after that, but again, because of family health situations, of which I'm still dealing with, and I actually had to leave my job in order to take care of my mother's health situations.
Okay.
So I was unable to pursue what it was, what actually had gone down.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Anyone else? You want to come back? Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved. Second.
Rarely moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Madam Chair, the next case on the agenda, 16922, Frank and Marilyn Honorato, 17 Hills Park Lane, Smithtown, location east side of Hills Park Lane, 386 feet south of Woodland Lane. The property is zoned R43. The applicant requests a variance to reduce the minimum rear yard setback from 100 feet to 93 feet for a proposed 70-square-foot porch.
Hi.
Hi. May I have your name, please?
Frank Honorato,
And your address, Frank.
17 Hills Park Lane, Smithtown.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Want to tell us why you're here,
Sure.
please?
We currently have an existing extension on the side of the house. My daughter and her family will be moving in with us, so we're making that extension a little bit larger. And what we'd like to do is have a rear porch on that extension. And it's in back, it's really our backyard. It's really the side yard, not the backyard, because we're on a corner. There's no other way to do it because that's where the extension's going to be. It's only a 70-square-foot covered porch, so I don't really think it's substantial. And it's not going to have any adverse effect on the neighborhood because it's going to be in our backyard. And I don't know what that means, alleged self-created difficulty.
You didn't, did you build it?
Oh, no.
No. So you're not self-created yet?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. Planning?
No comments, thank you.
Gentlemen?
No questions.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here that would like to be heard on this application? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved. Second.
Rayleigh moved the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Madam Chair, the next case, 16923, Mark Milo, 273 Hornet Road, Comac. Location is the west side of Hornet Road, 385 feet south of New Highway. The property is owned R43. The applicant requests a variance to permit accessory structure in in the required side yard, reduce minimum side yard from 24 feet to 2 feet, reduce total side yards from 60 feet to 36 feet, to increase the maximum accessory structure height from 15 feet to 21 feet for a proposed 334 square foot addition to an existing detached garage.
Okay, let me have your name, please,
Good evening, Mark Milo,
and your address.
273 Haunted Road, Comac.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. You want to tell us why you're here, please?
It was an existing garage. The variance would not produce an impact on the adjacent properties because it's been existing from the 60s, if not earlier. On the town card, it really doesn't have a date. It was pre-existing before it's dated, it says. I believe it's a desirable change because of the look. I tried to build the garage, extend it to have a historical look. The request is not substantial because, once again, it's been existing there for a long time. Most people don't even know I have a garage. There's trees in front of it. I've had family and friends and neighbors, when I told them I was doing this, they said, "Oh, you have a garage?" They didn't even realize I had it. The benefit cannot be achieved mostly with the height because it's a gambrel roof, and the gambrel roof, the nature of the roof from 60 degrees, the last 30 degrees of the roof is what puts it over the height. And if it was shorter, the gambrel roof just would not have that proper look to it. It wouldn't create an adverse effect on the environment. Most of the materials was recycled, reused. All the windows and doors were found from builders that was pre-existing and used. There's no new materials in the building as far as I was able to get, and any wood I did use was from a local mill, from the Haunted Brothers Mill. The difficulty was created by me because I started the process without the proper permit work, which I am now conforming with. I had personal time constraints that I was trying to work out, and so now I am going through the proper channels.
You know we were there today.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Let me ask you, there's no plumbing in this garage, is there?
No.
Is there heat?
No.
There's electricity, though.
Yes.
And it's being used as?
It's going to remain a functional garage with the garage door, but it's also going to double as a workout area with just some weight equipment, tall roof, have a climbing rope in there for the kids for sports.
Planning? Gentlemen?
What was the height of the garage before you started the renovation?
It was about 14 or 15 feet. I don't really know.
So it didn't have the gambrel roof before?
No.
Anyone else? Questions? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here that would like to be heard on this application? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved. Second.
Wrigley moved to second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried.
Madam Chair, the next case, number 16924, Wayne and Elaine Trumbull, 49 Soundview Drive, Fort Salonga, location southeast corner of Beach Hill Drive and Soundview Road. The property is zoned R21. The applicant is requesting a variance to reduce the minimum front yard on Soundview Drive from 50 feet to 37 feet for a proposed 203 square foot roof over porch to increase the maximum permitted paved surface in the rear yard from 25 feet to 33 feet existing.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board. My name is George Siddall. I'm the architect for the Trumbolls.
Do you have a power of attorney?
Yes, I do.
Can we see it?
I don't, he's an attorney, so he just
What?
told me. I'm the applicant for the application.
Is he here?
No, he's not here. They had a family matter that they couldn't make it.
I can't hear the case. Where is the power of attorney?
Okay, I do not have a power of attorney, but
not.
I'm the applicant on the application as the architect.
No?
Yeah.
Then you're not the applicant.
You might be for the building permit, the applicant, but for the
Right.
zoning board, in order to have standing to be an applicant, you have to be an owner, a lessee, or a contract vendee.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They were supposed to come here tonight. Okay. Yeah, they had a family matter that came up and they couldn't make it. One of them couldn't make it.
I'm going to have to adjourn it.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I'm sorry. You know,
Okay.
if they can't make it, you have to get a power of attorney.
Okay.
And there's a form. Blumberg,
Gotcha.
is it?
Yes.
Blumberg form?
Blumberg form? Gotcha. Okay. All right, well, there we go.
All right, you know what?
Okay.
I'll give you the next meeting.
Yeah, that's great.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's super.
Okay, just make sure you have everything in order.
Yeah, they'll keep that all on record then? Did you, all the affidavits and the mailings? Are these mailings good for the next meeting as well?
Mhm.
They're good, okay.
Just have to repost
Repost.
and change, and put the new date on it.
Gotcha. Okay, great.
Which means that another affidavit of posting will be required.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
mailing, but posting.
Just the posting, okay, that's
Yeah.
not a problem, I can take
We'll
care of
send
that.
you a letter that explains that,
Gotcha.
but in case the letter doesn't get to you, just, you know now.
Okay, and it's in what, about 2
June
weeks?
11th?
June 11th, okay, not so bad. All right, great,
Okay.
thank you.
Or you can just bring the applicant.
Yeah,
you
that
know.
would be a good thing. All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Madam Chair, the next case, number 16925, Gloria and Stephen Gold, 53 Wesleyan Road, Comac, location northwest corner of Wesleyan Court and Wesleyan Road. The property is zoned R10. The applicant requests a variance to reduce the minimum setback from the edge of pavement on Wesleyan Court from 26 feet to 15 feet for an existing 6-foot-high fence atop a 30-inch high retaining wall, to increase the maximum combined height of a fence and retaining wall from 4 feet to 9 feet in the front yard, reduce the minimum setback of a fence to a retaining wall from 30 inches to 0 feet, reduce the minimum setback of a 30-inch retaining wall from the north property line from 3 feet to 0 feet.
Okay, may I have your name, please?
My name is Stephen Gold,
And your address, Stephen?
53 Wesleyan Road, Comac, New York, 11725.
Okay. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Are you going to speak?
Yes,
You,
that's my wife,
is
but
she going to speak? No.
only I'm going to speak.
Only you, okay.
That's what she told me to do.
Oh, that was, oh, she gave you the orders, okay. You want to tell us why you're here, please?
I'm here to request a variance for an existing retaining wall and fence. The retaining wall and the fence most definitely are an enhancement to the character of the neighborhood. Two of my neighbors actually showed up for this hearing in support of that. The fence itself is on the side of my house. It's in the back, behind the house, and to the side. And the part we're talking about that extends out is behind the house and to the side facing a cul-de-sac. And the neighbors in the cul-de-sac, I'd say most of them have come to me and said, we love what you did there. We used to have a cedar fence that was on a retaining wall of railroad ties, and over the years, it rotted very seriously. I fixed it many times, and it got to the point where from erosion, the land was sliding. And the safe thing for the home, for the neighborhood, for the children in the neighborhood was to make a stone retaining wall with a PVC fence that would not rot. In the fence, there was a fence, it existed, it was cedar and with railroad ties. The variance is, I guess you'd say it's self-created because we felt that putting it in the exact same spot was just going to be, working on that same weak area, and we have a pool in the back. We wanted to ensure that the fence would be tall enough and secure enough so none of the neighborhood children could get into the area where the pool is.
Okay. Planning?
No comments, thank you.
Gentlemen?
Oh, thanks.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here that would like to be heard on this application? Hearing none, will entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Really moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Madam Chair, the next case, number 16926, and I apologize if I do not pronounce this correctly.
well.
Stanley and Terry Ridzuski?
No, but that's okay.
Okay.
But it is spelled wrong.
It is spelled
Oh, it
wrong.
is.
Okay, the U should be an N.
An N.
But that's on the records, that's on the deed, that's on the property, it's just, they interpreted my N to be a U.
Okay. 9 Chatham Road, Comac. The location is the north side of Chatham Road, 270 feet east of Kings Park Road. The property is zoned R10. The applicant is requesting a special exception to permit a temporary living quarters for a family member.
Okay, may I have your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Stanley Rydzinski. I live at 9 Chatham Road, Comac, New York, 11725. RYD is a dog, ZYNSKI.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
I'm here tonight to ask a variance on my house because I'm having temporary living quarters, want to construct it. I have a high ranch, the bottom level I'm trying to construct for my daughter, who is a learning disabled special needs child. Well, she's not a child, she's a woman now, she's 38. But as time goes on, and she gets benefits from the government, she's on SSI disability, but as time goes on, to get more benefits that will help her in the long run, I need to create a separate living space in my house for her. The space I'm creating is not changing any footprint. I'm not extending outside. I'm using the existing footprint that's already there. Basically, I'm creating a little kitchen. There's a bathroom already there. Just moving some walls around for her. Don't see any problem with. There's no really way to get, especially the extra benefits I'm going to get out of the government for my child that's going to need for the long term. Won't have any adverse effect on the neighborhood. I'm going for all the building permits, doing this right, getting everything inspected properly. And this is a choice that I really need to have for my child. This is, as you would understand, having a child, and when we pass on, this is going to be very important. Any questions?
I don't think. Planning?
Madam Chair, the Planning Department prepared a planning advisory report on this because it's a special exception use. We looked at in detail all of this standards for special exceptions in the zoning ordinance, and we concluded that this complies with all of the requirements, and then based on that, we recommend approval.
Thank you. Okay. Gentlemen, any other questions?
No question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. By the way, the cooperation I had from the department was beyond. I mean, they were very helpful from a consumer. I'd like to put that into the record because as a town person who pays taxes to the town, it's nice to see that the people there really go overboard to try to help you with a process that I have no understanding of, but they helped me through it. So I just want to put that on the record.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Is there anyone here that would like to be heard on this application? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Regularly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay, now we'll be going to the adjourned cases.
Madam Chair, the next case would be 16888 Summit Lifts, 63 Mall Drive, Comac, location west side of Mall Drive, 78 feet north of Modular Avenue. The property is zoned LI. The applicant is requesting a variance to reduce parking spaces from 97 to 50 for a proposed change of use of 8,230 square feet of warehouse to office space, reduce the minimum landscape area in the front yard from 80% to 30%, reduce the minimum parking setback in the front yard from 50 feet to 5 feet.
May I have your name, please?
Good evening. Larry McKevitt,
And your address?
63 Mall Drive, Comac.
Okay. Raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And your position? in this?
I'm the owner of the real estate.
Okay. Would you like this gentleman to speak for you?
Yes, Mr. Gleason.
Give me your name and address.
John Gleason, 336 6th Avenue, St. James. Gleason, Gleason.
Right. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay.
We're here tonight that Mr. McKevitt, the owner of Dorchester Realty, had purchased and occupied the subject building, 63 Mall Drive in Hauppauge, in the industrial park. They had found out through a summons issued via complaint that their interior office space, a major portion of it, was illegally built by the prior owner and doesn't possess a CO at this time for the office space. As part of the process of obtaining the CO and correcting the violation and comply with the building department requirements, we must obtain a series of zoning variances for the site, and that's why we're here tonight. Since the existing building was mostly warehouse use, it fell under a less restrictive parking calculation per square footage of area. There are currently 50 existing spaces on the site. Now that the office space combined with the warehouse space requires 97 spaces according to planning department requirement and regulations. As you can see on Plan 1 that I handed out, you see that the yellow highlighted area shows how we could add 29 additional spaces, bringing only a shortfall of 11 spaces from the required 97. We ask that these 29 spaces remain land banked as to keep the landscaping intact and not to pave over the entire site, which would be kind of unseemly. As used today, only a few, handful, park in the rear of the building as it stands today. It's mostly the parking lot remains vacant during business hours. There are 4 spots in the front of the building that were added to the site without a site plan approval. These spots reduce the landscape area required in the front yard setback of 50 feet, one of the other variances we're asking for. These spots are essential to the way the building is used. The front door of the building is accessed from these spots, and the access to both tenant spaces and the Summit Lifts offices are key to how the building is used. As you can see by the marked up area on the cover photo, there's another property only 2 lots away that has a similar front yard configuration. Now I'm not sure if this was approved or not approved, but it's in character with the neighborhood and the industrial park, as you can see by just 2 buildings away in the aerial photograph. It shows similar parking layout, a large area, paved area, 2 driveways on either side of the building, north and south. I included on page 2 original plan of the original site plan, circa 1971, from the planning department. It shows 2 driveways, north side, south side, and parking spots in the front yard. So with these additional 4 spots, Mr. Flynn and I, we looked through the aerial photos when we submitted the application and noticed that based on the history of the photographs, probably in the mid-80s, excuse me, that those other 4 spots were added to the site. Possibly probably when the tenant space was built. These spaces are important because it's a long walk from the back of the building to the front through warehouse space to access the front offices. So it's kind of a practical use, and I think it's in keeping with the neighborhood. Again, heavy industrial area in the Hop Hog Park over there. And we ask that the 4 spaces remain, and that we offer also hedgerow screening device maybe that can soften up the look. Maybe we can work with the planning department if that becomes an issue. We're just offering that out. And I'm just asking for any questions at this time from the board.
Okay. Planning?
No comments, thank you.
Gentlemen?
No, ma'am.
Anything? Okay, thank you. Okay. Is there anyone here that wants to be heard on this application? Come up, please. I'd like to state your name, and then I'm going to make a statement. Go
Sure.
ahead.
Ellen Hoyle, I'm Vice President and Attorney for Nutritional
I don't want to hear. I
Therapeutics.
just want to know your name and address, please.
Okay, 63 Mall Drive, Comac, New York.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me just tell you that you're here. I know you're objecting. I have your letter. The only thing that you can speak on is what is presented to us. So if you have a problem, and I can see that you do, you need to take that up with the building director.
Okay, I was told.
Excuse me,
Okay,
let
go
me
ahead.
finish, please. All right? So the only thing you can talk to us about is the parking spaces, the landscaping, and it being converted to office space. If there's anything else that you feel is that you're not, you don't feel right about, then you can take that up. We have no authority as far as what the building director has declared, and he declared this as a non-nuisance use. All right?
Okay.
So just let me make that clear. So if you would like to speak on the things that are in front of us right now, go right ahead.
Well, I
You
can
leave
speak.
the mic, please.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay, I would speak to the space surrounding the office space as being minimized because the warehouse does store propane, and I do think that does have an environmental impact. Whether that's true or not is up to you, but that's the only issue I would raise with that.
Okay. You know, the environmental department has listed a neg deck for it, so.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Is there anyone else? Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Greatly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay. Next case, case 16903 V. Calvosa, Inc., has been adjourned to August 13th. Okay. Okay. That concludes our hearings for tonight. Thank you so very much.